Austin Dillon has been stripped of his spot in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs after a controversial win at Richmond Raceway. Despite being allowed to keep the victory from Sunday's race, NASCAR announced on Wednesday that Dillon's actions in the final moments of the race would prevent him from using the win to qualify for the playoffs. The decision came after Dillon crashed into both Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin in a desperate bid to secure his place in NASCAR's postseason, where drivers can qualify by winning a race. Dillon, who entered the Richmond race ranked 32nd in the points standings, seemed poised to secure a straightforward win before a late race caution flag was waved due to a collision between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Preece. After the ensuing pit stops, Logano took the lead on the overtime restart and appeared to be in control heading into the final turns of the last lap. However, Dillon, in a dramatic move, collided with Logano, causing him to spin out. As Dillon slowed down to avoid the wreckage, Hamlin saw an opportunity to pass him and take the win. But just as Hamlin made his move, Dillon turned into him, sending Hamlin's car crashing into the wall. NASCAR officials chose not to make an immediate ruling after the race, leaving fans and competitors in suspense. On Wednesday, NASCAR's executive Elton Sawyer announced the penalty, stating that Dillon's actions on the final lap crossed the line of acceptable conduct on the track. As a result, Dillon was penalized 25 points in addition to losing his playoff spot, dropping him to 31st in the standings. Nevertheless, he remains eligible to qualify for the playoffs if he wins one of the remaining 3 regular season races at Michigan, Daytona, or Darlington. Adding to the fallout, Dillon's spotter, Brandon Benish, was suspended for 3 races after being heard instructing Dillon to wreck him on the final lap. Logano, who was visibly upset after the race, was fined $50,000 for revving his engine in frustration while stopping near Dillon's team members on pit road. Richard Childress Racing, Dillon's team, has announced plans to appeal the penalties. The incident has reignited discussions about NASCAR's win and in-playoff system, which can create situations where drivers are tempted to make desperate and aggressive moves to secure a spot in the postseason. Dillon's actions, while controversial, were fueled by the knowledge that a victory was his only realistic chance to advance and secure greater prize money for his team. In his post-race comments, Dillon defended his actions by pointing out that similar moves have been made by other drivers, including Logano and Hamlin, in the past. "This is the first opportunity in 2 years for me to be able to get a win," Dillon said. "I've seen a lot of stuff over the years in NASCAR where people move people. It's just part of our sport." However, Dillon's aggressive tactics were deemed too extreme by NASCAR, especially given that he crashed not just 1 but 2 competitors in his quest for victory. Comparisons have been drawn to a similar incident at Charlotte just a year ago, where Chase Elliott was suspended for a race after hooking Hamlin into the wall in a comparable situation. The delay in NASCAR's decision-making has also highlighted issues with the organization's officiating process. Many argue that NASCAR should have reviewed and penalized Dillon immediately after the race, rather than waiting until midweek to announce the penalties. This delay has not only prolonged the controversy but also opened the door for an appeal that could potentially overturn the decision. NASCAR has faced criticism for inconsistent enforcement of rules in recent years. The Byron incident in 2022, where a penalty was issued 2 days after he intentionally spun Hamlin during a race, further underscores the need for more prompt and decisive officiating.